Hare Krishna. We'll go ahead and get started. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktabanda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. You all can hear me okay, right? Good morning. Happy Ekadashi.
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you. Hare Krishna.
I'll go ahead and get started with the reading. Okay. Knowledge of Krishna. A devotee whose love for Krishna has not yet been born has to learn more about Krishna. Who is he? What does he like and dislike? What does he do? Who does he especially favor? Who are his dear devotees? And so on. Developing a relationship with Krishna only really happens when you hear about him deeply and consistently. This is the only way to give the relationship a chance, by hearing. Let's look at a powerful illustration of this from Srimad Bhagavatam. Rukmini Devi lived in the majestic palace of her father, Maharaj Bhishmaka. As a young girl, she regularly heard narrations of Krishna from Narada Muni. And when he visited her father, she always made sure to be there in the audience every time just to hear about Krishna's beautiful form, mesmerizing pastimes, and exceptional qualities, including his tremendous generosity and kindness to his devotees. From early on, she decided that she would marry Krishna. No one else could be the one. When the time of her marriage arrived, Rukmini's father decided that Shishupal, the prince of one of the neighboring kingdoms, should become her husband. The thought of such a thing was unbearable to her. She cried and sighed, I want only Krishna as my husband. At that time, Rukmini was no more than 15 years old. She wrote Krishna a love letter declaring, I have heard about you. Krishna, I want to marry you. I don't want to marry a so-called man made of blood and pus. I don't care for that material concoction. I want only you and will wait for lifetimes if that is what it takes for you to accept me. When Krishna received the letter, he smiled and instantly decided, this devotee is surrendered to me. I will take urgent action. I will go to her rescue. When you have heard about Krishna for a consistent, prolonged time, you will feel connected to him. If you feel your relationship with Krishna is at the moment abstract and theoretical, do the best to counteract that passive pattern here or read about him as much as possible. Especially connect to the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Now we are moving on to the exercises. Exercise and practical applications. Sambandha. The following exercise will help you become more mindful of Krishna in the holy name. Exercise 1, the Sambandha meditation. Based on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's guidelines, we always think relationally, I am his son, I am her mother, I am their leader, or I am sitting on this floor. Thus, our identity or position is always relative to the person or object. During japa, we need to see ourselves only in relation to Krishna. I belong to you. Let all the other material relationships fade away in the background and let us finally proclaim here, I am calling to you from the material world. for at least 2 hours of the day. Let us be real and situated in our truest identity. If that is too difficult, then let us start with at least one moment and build upon it. To help us exercise real chanting in this way and end shadow chanting, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur offers guidelines that help fix the mind on the soul's true connection with Krishna. I am an atomic particle of consciousness and Krishna's eternal servant. Krishna is the infinite conscious entity and my only master. The material world is a house of correction meant to reform any tendency to remain absent in our relationship. To chant with deep connection, practice the following meditation. Sit tall with spine erect, as described earlier in the Yojana chapter. Take a few deep breaths, bringing your awareness to each inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe consciously in this way until your mind becomes calm and focused. If distracting thoughts or feelings arise, gently let go of them and return to your breathing. When you feel centered, calm, and focused, envision in your mind's eyes these truths. I am an atomic particle of consciousness and Krishna's eternal servant. I am categorically different from the body and mind, and I am a tiny soul. I am an eternal, blissful spiritual being. I am a part of Krishna. Krishna is the infinite conscious entity and my only master. For so long, I have invested in so many relationships, but now I understand that Krishna is my only master and my only true friend. The material world is a house of correction meant to reform my urgency to remain absent in our relationship. The only purpose of the material world is to teach me to connect and be present in my identity as Krishna's servant. Now you have brought your spiritual identity into awareness. Chant and let your japa or kirtana come alive. You may find it easier to stay in the consciousness of your relationship with Radha and Krishna if you chant before the deities or a picture. You can always return to the meditation if your mind becomes distracted. Keep it with you always. It is a powerful tool that will transform your chanting. Rest assured, Krishna will hear you and reciprocate either immediately or in due course. So really, this is a very beautiful exercise. This exercise, Maharaj is really telling us that we need to be really focused on really established in that relationship part of it, understanding who we are, our relationship with Krishna, right? Here is the three main things, that I am an atomic particle of consciousness and Krishna's eternal servant. That's my relationship, the sambandha. And who's Krishna? He's the infinite conscious entity, and he's my only master. So we have to really get that established in our heart. And then why am I even in this material world? My purpose is not to enjoy or, all of this sense gratification, but rather really the purpose of the reason why I'm in this material world is because it's a house of correction. And it is really supposed to be transforming me, my relationship. So that's the important part, right? I mean, we all have to remember that because we keep doing the same thing. We have been here millions of lifetimes, and we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. So the core of this is, unless we have established a real, true relationship with Krishna, focusing in chanting is not going to come at all, because externally we may be doing everything we want to do, but unless we have the relationship and the need for developing that strongly, yeah, we won't be able to focus at all. So that's the whole essence of this reading right now and this exercise. Again, thank you so much.